A wise rapper once said, "None of you was hitting it raw and mad I'm not one of your baby mamas." Hi, hello, and welcome back to D&E, Debate and Exfoliate. So, on this podcast, we talk about a topic, then we cleanse our minds of it, and we move on. Simple enough? Okay. So, on today's episode, I want to talk about the pregnancy ploy. But before I get into that, let me get into today's unofficial sponsor, which is the lip bar. Like, look how cute my lipstick is. And also, shout out to NYX and the Beauty Supply lip gloss because they also came through swinging. But let's get into this pregnancy ploy. So, the pregnancy ploy to me is when men get women pregnant at the height of their careers. And there are several high profile examples of this. We see it with Cardi B. We see it with Halle Bailey. We see it with Naomi Osaka, with Callie, with Summer Walker. All these women have had major successes in the last few years and then they wound up pregnant. And while some might think that this is just a coincidence, I think it's a pattern. Let's talk about it. These men will plot and scheme to make baby mamas out of successful women. And I don't think that's okay. Like, let's talk about Cardi B, for example. She just announced that she's pregnant for the third time by her cheating husband, Offset. She also announced that they're headed for divorce, which I'm so glad of because it seems like every time she announces a new album, he gets her pregnant. Like, Culture was born in 2018. Bodak Yellow came out in 2017. So Cardi was still riding the wave of Bodak Yellow when she ended up pregnant the first time. Then she was supposed to release her sophomore album, but then she had her second child, and excuse me, I'm forgetting his name, but I'll put it in my edits. And now she's pregnant with her third child by Offset, presumably, and it's just like, why does he keep getting her pregnant when she's about to release her album? Like, let's really talk about that. And I also want to talk about the fact that Offset has a pattern of manipulative behavior. He got her pregnant right before her albums dropped. And then we have the Rolling Loud incident where he brought out all those flowers saying that he was sorry and basically coerced her into taking him back. Like, that's not okay. But it's not just Cardi B and it's not just Offset. In the last 2 years, we've seen several young women get pregnant at the height of their careers. So, since we're talking about clowns, let me segue into DDG. So, DDG is Halle Bailey's boyfriend and the father of their child, Halo Bailey, which is so cute, Halle and Halo. But I also want to talk about the fact that Halle was not able to perform at the Oscars because she was pregnant. And this was when she was on her Little Mermaid press tour that DDG ended up getting her pregnant. And that was really sad to me because that could have been a pivotal moment in that girl's career, but he had to slow her down because he doesn't want her to surpass him, in my opinion. And I think it's really sad that these women are getting pregnant when they're about to really blow up. And let me be clear, these women have agency. They're able to do what they want, but it's just interesting that their partners would try to get them pregnant when they're at such a pivotal moment in their careers. And let's talk about our next example with Naomi Osaka. So apparently, her and Corday have broken up, and their child is not even 2 years old yet. And I just think that it's very telling that he got her pregnant when she was winning her third Grand Slam. She was the number one tennis player in the world, and he got her pregnant. And I'm just like, what's tea? What's going on? And this is not to say that these men are deadbeats or that they can't take care of the children. It's just interesting to see how they get these women pregnant at these certain points in their careers. Like, I would throw ASAP Rocky and Rihanna on there, but I feel like Rihanna had already hit that pivotal moment in her career. Like, Rihanna is a billionaire. So she's really protected by her billionaire status. And even though she's technically a baby mama, I don't think she would be as vulnerable to the change of motherhood as some of these other women because they're younger, their careers are not as established, and they're really just, for lack of better words, being taken advantage of. And as I was editing this, I realized that I missed one person who will also be part of this conversation, Sexy Red. And I feel like I will be remiss not to mention her because she's had a gradual rise to fame in the last 2 years. And guess what happens? She wound up pregnant. And it's an interesting pattern that I'm starting to see. Just wanted to add that. And on that note, I want to talk about the most recent pregnancy we've seen amongst young female celebrities, which is Callie. So she just announced that she's pregnant, which a lot of people are concerned because Callie just had her breakout hit with Area Codes. And she's had other hit songs and she's made a lot of music, but I feel like this was a turning point in her career. Like she was really about to blow up. Like all you heard on TikTok was area codes. And next thing you know, she's popping up pregnant. And make that make sense. Just make that make sense, please. And I feel like this is not a coincidence. Like I said earlier, this is more so a pattern. And the last example we'll get into is with Summer Walker. Summer Walker has 3 kids by 2 different men and possibly a fourth child on the way with Lil Meech. And it's like she just released Still Over It in I believe 2023. So my dates were way off. I thought she released Still Over It in 2023. It apparently came out in 2021. And I'm just like, it's been 3 years since that shit dropped. That shit was good as fuck because I didn't know that. But anyway, the point still stands. When she was releasing Still Over It, she was getting pregnant by Larry. So it's still following that same pattern. That's what I meant to say. I'm gonna get the exact date when I edit this, but she just released Still Over It, and then next thing you know, she was pregnant again by Larry. And then as she's getting ready for her third studio album, she's allegedly pregnant by Lil Meech. And it's just like these can't all be coincidences. We have to discern what is going on. Like this is not okay. But alas, I'm just a person. This is just my opinion. You can take it or you can leave it. But I just want to say to exfoliate this conversation and cleanse our minds of it, I just hope that these women, of course, have safe and healthy pregnancies. And I just hope that their careers continue to thrive after their babies because I don't like the idea that these men are trying to slow them down or trying to stake a claim in what they've built on their own. And this is not to say that these men don't have their own careers because Callie is with a football player. DDG is apparently a rapper. And who else is on the list? And of course Offset has his own music and stuff. But it's still interesting to see these men stake a claim in these women's futures by putting a baby in them. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just overthinking this. But as I always say, leave your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for the next episode of D and E. Thanks for watching.